when you're the child of an alcoholic, you are constantly trying to be the person who you think others want you to be. You're worried about, what do others think I should be? Okay, I've got to be that. And actually, it was only through this process that actually I realised I was free to become the person that I was. My dad was an amazing person. He was the son of Irish immigrants. He'd become radicalised in the fight against apartheid in the 60s. That's why he met and fallen in love with my mum. My mum was the daughter of communists who grew up here in Birmingham, not far from here. But the truth is, the further he went up the ranks of the council where he worked, the deeper his dependence on alcohol became. And when my mum contracted cancer of the pancreas at the tender age of 52 and died on Boxing Day 1997, it just knocked him completely over the edge. And that slip, that slow slide into the abyss, became a rush. It was 4 years ago that I got a call from Princess Alexandra Hospital to say that I needed to go back to Harlow, where my dad lived, because he was in his final hours. And I feel incredibly blessed that in the cold light of dawn on St. Joseph's Day, I was able to be there as the nurses, with just such incredible love and kindness, folded back the blankets so that we could hold his hand as he slipped away from us. And it just knocked me over. And I've told the story once before of going to see my uncle. My uncle's a very old, wise man. He walked me up to the top of the cliff behind their house, and I was kind of ready to throw myself off the cliff at that stage. And he gave me a line from Samuel Beckett. He said, I said to him, well, look, what do I do now? And he said, look, ever tried, ever failed, no matter, try again, fail better. And that kind of gave me a pickup. That kind of got me back on my feet. And I thought I was making progress, and I thought I was okay. And then 3 years ago this weekend, Jo Cox was murdered on the streets of her constituency. And Jo was a really lovely person. She was exactly the kind of person that you wanted to see in public life. She was energetic, she got things done, she was nice, she brought people together. And I didn't know her terribly well, but her murder just was the trigger for a deep, long plunge into the darkness for me. And I was lucky in that my family caught me, and it was August, and so we kind of went to Scotland, to an island in Scotland. I just slept for 2 or 3 weeks. It was on that island in Scotland that I decided that I was going to need some significant help, and that's when I started my first step. The first step in what took 18 months of counselling, first here in Birmingham and then in London, to try and put my life back together again. I thought I was basically walking through a kind of volcanic landscape. My emotional fuel tank was on absolute empty, and I didn't know how to refuel it. And it was doing that work in counselling over the course of a year and a half that helped me just go back to first principles, see that that little boy who had tried to support my mum in a difficult relationship from the age of 7 or 8 was not a failure. He was just a little boy. When you're the child of an alcoholic, you are constantly trying to be the person who you think others want you to be. You're worried about, what do others think I should be? Okay, I've got to be that. And actually, it was only through this process that actually I realised I was free to become the person that I was. And so the strangest thing, for me was the extraordinary political rethinking that I went through. So I went back to the radicalism of my student days. I joined the Labour Party after the miners' strike when I was 15. I was a young teenage firebrand. Actually, that's the fight I went back to, because it was the struggle against inequality that first took me into politics. So, you know, in the last couple of years, I've helped found the Tribune Group, which is a soft left group of Labour MPs. I've really focused in hard on the fight against inequality, and most important of all, I've begun a deep relationship with our city's homeless community. I continue to set up our all-party group of children of alcoholics, which has just gone from strength to strength. And you know, one of the proudest moments for me in public life was earlier this year when we launched a fund of £6 million that we'd extracted from the government to run pilots for children of alcoholics up and down the country, so that at least more children will have had that lifeline that I could have done with when I was younger. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to say all of that, and thank you for just doing the things that you do. I can't tell you how important it is.